The fox invited the stork to sup with him and placed a shallow dish on the table. The stork, with her long bill, could get nothing out of the dish, while the fox could lap up the food with his tongue. And so the fox laughed at the stork. The stork, in her turn, asked the fox to dine with her, and she placed the food in a long-necked jar from which she could easily feed with her bill, while the fox could get nothing, and that was tit for tat.
A pour of honey was upset in the pantry, and the flies crowded about to eat of it. It was so sticky that they could not get away. Their feet were held fast so that they could not fly, and they began to choke to death. "What wretches we are," they cried, "to die just for a moment of pleasure." So it is that greediness is the cause of many evils.
A wild young fellow, who had spent all his father's money and had only a cloak left upon his back, when he saw a swallow flying about before it was time, said, "Ah, summer has come. I shall not need my cloak any longer, so I will sell it." But afterwards, a storm came, and when it was past, he saw the poor swallow dead on the ground. "Ah, my friend," said he, "you are lost yourself, and you have ruined me. One swallow does not make a summer." A lion that had grown old and had no more strength to forage for food saw that he must get it by cunning. He went into his den and crept into a corner and made believe that he was very sick. All the animals about came in to take a look at him, and, as they came, he snapped them up. Now, when a good many beasts had been caught in this way, the fox, who guessed the trick, came along. He took his stand a little way from the den and asked the lion how he did. The lion said he was very sick and begged him to come into the den and see him. "So I would," said the fox, "but I noticed that all the footprints point into the den. There are none that point out."
There was once a little kid whose growing horns made him think he was a grown-up billy goat and able to take care of himself. So, one evening, when the fox started home from the pasture and his mother called, the kid paid no heed and kept right on nibbling the tender grass. A little later, when he lifted his head, the fox was gone. He was all alone. The sun was sinking. Long shadows came creeping over the ground. A chilly little wind came creeping with them, making scary noises in the grass. The kid shivered as he thought of the terrible wolf. Then he started wildly over the feld, bleating for his mother. But not halfway, near a clump of trees, there was the wolf. The kid knew there was little hope for him. "Please, Mr. Wolf," he said, trembling, "I know you are going to eat me, but first please pipe me a tune, for I want to dance and be merry as long as I can." The wolf liked the idea of a little music before eating, so he struck up a merry tune and the kid leaped and frisked gaily. Meanwhile, the fox was moving slowly homeward. In the still evening air, the wolf's piping carried far. The shepherd dogs pricked up their ears. They recognized the song the wolf sings before a feast, and in a moment they were racing back to the pasture. The wolf's song ended suddenly, and as he ran, with the dogs at his heels, he called himself a fool for turning piper to please a kid, when he should have stuck to his butcher's trade. Moral: do not let anything turn you from your purpose.